Okay, it is a little bit late, but I was here with a friend of mine and I was trying to fix this thing for him to have light in his RV. So I pretty much managed to get everything done, except the final part, which is the fuse. So I already changed the capacitors that were blown out. I think I threw it away already. It's in the trash here somewhere. But you know what? Capacitor. Let me see if I can put my hand right there. Okay, here it is. So this was his capacitor. It had leaked, even leaked all the way around. So it ain't good anymore. So that's what that was. So as you can see, there's crap all over the bench right here. But you get the point. So changed that, changed the one outside that was completely dead, and I'm going to replace the fuse that was also blown. As you could see, here it is. In case you don't know, guys don't know what a fuse is. It's got sand inside and a little wire, and then it's got this tube here, you know, from the other side. So what I'm going to do is I was going to use the caps, but the caps are hard to get out. So I find a way to do it, and I'm going to teach you guys how to. You guys will grab your fuse, which is the new fuse I'm going to use, and I've already done it to this one. So as you can see, I have solder on top of this cap. Hope you focus. Top of this cap right here with the leg, and I'm going to do the next leg down. Now if you try to solder just as it is, it's not going to hold. So you have to put it on your, on your little trusty friendly can thingamajigger, and then scratch it. So I use this little tool here to scratch on the top of it. So after you scratch on it, you'll be able to solder it. So you can see this smooth surface that's there. I'm gonna just scratch it. And this is for you, whenever you need to make a fuse on the quick. So I'm gonna scratch it here, and then I already have my soldering gun ready. And after I scratch it a bunch, put this away. You can see this is how it looks. After you scratch, you score it on the top. That's the word, to score. Then you grab your soldering iron, right? And I'm gonna go towards the same side that I put the other. So I'm gonna make it so that it is like this. So I'm gonna make a nice puddle on the top. So I grab it and I make a nice puddle on the top. Nice hot, nice puddle right there. So that was that quick. You see it? It looks like it's part of the fuse itself. A nice puddle on the top, and then I will grab this and I will just, I will make it, pre-solder it real quick right there. And I'm going to go the same way I have the other leg. You'll see what I'm finished when I'm done with it, what it's gonna look like. Okay, so there it goes. So I got that there. So this is what it looks like, and I'm going to cut the top of it. I'm gonna cut it right there. So now, because I did it that way, I have the ability to replace this fuse. So see, this is how I made it so that it looks that way. So I will be able to bend it a little more, or as I need to, in order to go into this converter over here. This is the converter right here. Like I said, I've already replaced these caps right here. I put some Rio Rubicon 1000 microfarads on it for my friend. It originally had an 820, so I put 1000. And my whole point of this live video is for you to see that you can make a fuse, when you don't have the caps on it. You can make it yourself. So I am going to be able to put it in the inside. So I'm going to bend this tabs right here because it's a little short. I'll bend the tabs, and then I'll be able to put it. So see, at least I know that the solder is holding. Yeah, that solder is holding quite nicely up there. So now I'm going to just put it on here, and I'm going to turn it on to see if it works. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing in a minute, because this is a little harder than I anticipated. I left all the glue in there, so get in that hole. There you go. I got it in that hole. Now I'm going to get this one on this hole, and then I'm going to solder it. Put that super glue in there. Okay, so that's in that hole. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to hold the camera so you guys can see it. So I was able to, let's see, where's the cam? Where is it? Towards the right? Right there. That's how the fuse looks. And on this side, I'm going to turn the camera around. So this is where it comes out, right there. So it comes out right here, one there, and one there. This was not me, by the way. This is just manufacturer. It's quite dirty, quite nasty. Okay, so I'm going to clear it up as well. So now I'm going to solder that part right there. So I'm going to grab my iron. And bear with me, I'm going to try to do this while holding it. You guys are going to get a POV right now. So let's see where we are. So we are right here. So I'm going to okay, there you go. Nice. That's one. And here's the other. That's two. There you go. So those of you, that's how it looks. All right. So now I'm going to try and turn it on. Let's see how that goes. Let me put this on this side. Put everything together now. This is for you guys to save money because these things are expensive. And if you could get yourself a soldering iron and a fuse, and if you have some caps laying around from some old electronics that you may have around, you can definitely totally do this. Okay, so that cap. Oops. So I soldered something that was cracked on the bottom of this. So I'm gonna have to redo it again on the other side. Just because I didn't want to solder. So I'm gonna show you what I did. So over here I soldered a cap and I thought it was off, but it's actually, yeah, it came off. So I'm gonna have to do it on the opposite side. So that way it clears out that part there. So as you can see it, I put it on the underside because this is so chunky there. I just got to be careful. Let me put the power up to 500. Showing nice and hot. I'm going to touch this light. I think it's so hot it just becomes cold really. There you go. I hope that works. All right, hope that works. Let me put it on quite nice and slow. I'll break it. There you go. There you go. Pretty good. Well, that worked out. Now, I'm going to put the fuses back in. Okay. I forgot to put the plastic. Where's that plastic thing? You know, I always say keep things together, but I have such a mess. Why? Because I have another over here that he brought too. Do not buy this, okay? This is so cheap. I'm going to show you why. You see these capacitors here? They're supposed to be 680 UF, okay? You know how many UF this came out to test? When I tested it, 480 or so. No, 520. 420, something like that. But it was way below what it is. And look at the size of it. Okay, this is not the size of it. This is like long cylindrical tubes. They're supposed to be about that big, very chunky. This is just a fake Rubicon. That's what they call it, but they're completely fake. So this stinks a crap. So this is supposed to be 55 amps. I greatly doubt it. And every component in here, it's quite cheap. Even the transformer itself, okay? This looks just bad quality. That's like $70-something, $100-something. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Buy quality. You know. Buy from a seller that you could see the picture that shows the components on there, not just because they look nice and new and shiny. Okay. So I have one here. Where's the other? Where's the other? Where's the other? Here's the other. Okay, so this is the one that don't buy. Don't buy this one. Okay, it tells you that model. Don't buy this. Okay, don't buy it. Get something better. You know, these things are completely knockoffs. You don't want to do that. All right, so then where's that plastic piece? Where did that plastic piece go? Here it is. It's a plastic piece. This is an insulator. You want to put that in between the fuses because if not, you're going to short something out. So I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I wasn't planning on doing this, by the way. It's just since I'm working, I'm always doing something. Fixing some sort of something. So, and because I was, might as well invite you guys and show you guys what I was working on. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So now I'm going to put the fuse. Okay, one fuse. Insulation up here. Okay, where's the other fuse? Just to testing purposes. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I have it on. So this here, I highly recommend this. This is a Sencore, okay? So I'm going to plug it into my Sencore. This is an isolated output, okay? Isolated output. This tells you what the line is. So I'm going to put this down. This is my line voltage, as you can see. And this is my output here. Output is 0 right now. So I'm going to start putting my output, and it's working. Okay, so it started working. So now I'm going to see, I heard the fan on and it kicked off. So it was on and then off. So let's find out if, yeah, I went to 120, okay. So that's good. So I'm going to turn it off again. Maybe once it loses power, it comes back on. And I'm going to put my leads. Let me grab my crocodile leads. Hold on, let me take my hands. My crocodile leads, where are they? I have a mess, I know. The more I clean, the more messy. My wife just screams at me. I was making a mess. But glory be to the Lord that, or at least we can. So at least my friend will be happy that This is fixed. Okay, negative is on the right side. And this one on this side here. Okay, so then I'm gonna go here, direct voltage. Put it right there. Well, it says 200 millivolts, so that's not it. So there we go. I'm gonna turn it on. Turned on, as you can hear it. And it turned off. So now, see, 13.74. So it's fixed. So what did I do? For you guys to know, I'm gonna turn it off. I changed these two capacitors here. One was good, the other one was blown, but I changed them both, just because. And then the one on the output, which is right there, I had to put it on the underside because that block here is soldered, and it's such a big blob of solder that my little 500 was not going to be able to melt it. So I decided to put that one on the bottom, which I did. So what does that do? It's just an output filter. You know, it was 470 farads, 470 farads at 25 volts. So it's just a capacitor that I end up putting, and I put it on the underside. I'm going to show you. Let's see if you could see it right down there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn it from this side. So there it is. So I put it on the underside, and it's working. So this is the fix. I'm glad I was able to fix it. My friend left before I could give it to him because it was already too late. He had like an hour and a half drive. And but at least next time he's going to be very happy. So here is the original box for it. I'm going to show you. So this is the original box, which is a 9855 right here. Now this is the real one, okay? And I want to show you what the difference is. This is very good. I want to show you what the difference is between the fake one and the real one, okay? As you can see, this, look at the choke on that one. That's a dookie choke. And look at the choke on this one. Not the same. Okay, that's one part. Look at the capacitors, okay? There's two, okay? And these are cylindrical. You can even see on the drawing that they're supposed to take the whole circumference of that drawing at the bottom, and they're not, because they're fake. And they're so fake that they had to drill an extra hole next to the original hole because the wires were smaller. So that's why they had to bridge it right here. So it's fake, okay? So don't be fooled. And then, as you can see, look at the filtering that you have. See that? And look at here, you have a nice choke. You will have another filter there, which I put on the bottom. All right, so then another thing is, when you go on this side here, you have another choke, and then you have one here. But this transformer, as you could see, I want you to look at it. Look at the big solder that is right there, okay? It looks fake. Look at the size of this monster right here. This is a real transformer, okay? So now this is running, I'm sure, a higher frequency and whatnot because it's newer technology, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I would take old-fashioned technology, you know, if it's giving out the same amperage. As you can see, these are, you know, the shunts, and this is the capacitor here. But, you know, I prefer this. You know, look at the NTF, I think it is. This prevents from happening. This doesn't have one at all. And that's why these two that were here, this is what happened to this one. This one was shorting out. As you can see, the black thing right here between those two resistors, which I took out earlier today and I put somewhere. I think I threw it in the trash. I put them somewhere. Yeah, I might have thrown them in the trash, but okay, don't buy the cheap stuff. Don't buy the cheap Chinese stuff, because you're gonna get what you pay for. Yeah, I might have thrown those two on the trash, but that's where they were, and I need to check if these are burnt as well, because I already removed those. Something else might be burnt. Maybe this one's here. So this one's fixed. That's good. He's gonna be very happy. This is the real one. So obviously they don't come with screws. They came with the rivets for whatever reason. So I had to drill out each of the rivets. Let's look at the rivets. I had to drill them all out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, you know, put some screws through there and hold it in place. But at least we know that it is fixed. Thank you guys very much for being here. I hope that helps you, how you can put a fuse and how you could save a bunch of money, because all of this costs nothing because I had all the parts laying around. So if you have the wisdom, you know, ask the Lord to give you. If you don't know Jesus Christ, I advise you to seek him while you can. God bless you all and take care.